About a week before she died, I was on the phone with her, and Otis was at the front door, which was open, and he was barking at passersby, and I was getting kind of impatient with him, and I was like, Otis, and I was kind of like annoyed, and she was like, let Odie talk, he's got lots to say.
So, Jason, will you be filming any more porn with this camera?
Jason, go to Pornhub and be like, yeah. I say we relocate downstairs.
Can we need to leave?
Oh.
In a bit.
Yeah.
Cause I have a flight tomorrow. But
What's
you don't
up?
have to leave right this second. It's at like 9.
Driving?
That's why I haven't watched like any of BoJack Horseman.
Oh. Is there pizza?
Burnt pizza.
Fuck yeah.
Jason,
Yeah.
it's really funny because, like, a couple months later in South Carolina, Vic was talking about how you, like, filmed her with a vintage camera.
Oh yeah. Super
and
vintage.
As, like, a thing that, like... And she said that she thought you would have, like, one of those, like, hipster relationships or whatever.
The way hipsters do.
And it's really funny having that image completed now.
Jason,
Like, I figured, like, oh, he did some, like, hippie black and white photography, like a couple of dirty beatniks. And, like, no. It was more like a 60s summer of love thing going on.
Jason, does that mean we're gonna have a hippie relationship?
We already do.
Because we're being filmed.
I mean,
I love you.
Kenny, we've had sex 8 times.
This is true. I must have forgot.
is when, like, a Rush Limbaugh parody is, like, calling his viewers to action. And Moe's like, alright, everyone take a grenade.
Yeah.
Grenades, so all the bar guys. And Barney's like, oh, I think he meant through, like, grassroots political means. And he's like, oh, really? Yeah, give him back. And they're all kind of groaning and handing him back. And he's like, hey, who took the pin out on this one?
I learned, actually, that you can, in fact, put the pin back in a grenade so long as you haven't released the hammer,
Yeah.
which is good to know
In case we ever have a grenade.
in case we ever lose the pin. Just don't let anyone...
We'll just have to carry that grenade around for the rest of our life.
Taylor.
Just, can you imagine, like, a grenade without a pin, but it's just been, like, duct taped so that the hammer never comes up?
You just put it in a drawer and leave it.
Be careful.
You guys don't have like a family grenade?
Yeah, it's 50 years
I'm really
old.
happy this is being. This is funny. Jason, maybe on the porn, but definitely send me the grenade chat later.
Maybe. Definitely on the porn, but maybe on the grenade.
Scotch, no porn. Hold the grenade.
Shaken, not stirred.
Tyler, it's a good thing you don't drink. Because you'd text me one night a week from now, like, alright, just send me the porn.
I think I might get sleep deprived and depressed, and I might do that anyways.
Jason, this is the porn of Victoria. I want the coral.
Jason,
Send
I don't know
me
who the
Olivia.
fuck Olivia is, but like, Olivias are usually cute. Send it over.
She's pretty cute. And I remember showing a picture of her to Victoria. And she was like, oh, she's ugly. And I was like,
I would say that about anyone.
what? But maybe she was just negging, as they call it. I'm glad I caught that on video.
I feel really weird that like all of this shit talking about Victoria is just being saved like, for ages.
You
'Cause,
you
like-
should email this to her.
Usually it just goes out into the aether and I feel better afterwards because it's like, oh, I got that off my chest. But like, this time it's just preserved and I'm like, wow, like, now there's video archive footage of me just being really spiteful about like a friendship that didn't work out.
What I really appreciate is that the fact that this is on videotape isn't deterring any of us from saying anything.
Why would it?
I got nothing to hide.
No,
Fucking,
that's
like,
what I appreciate.
No one but us will ever see this.
years later, when we run for like
Jason.
Congress, someone will be like, "Wait, the Victoria tape," and like our chances with the Victoria vote will just drop.
Because no one knows which one we're talking about. It could be any.
All right,
But we will get elected because
all right.
every
so,
Victoria is a piece of shit.
for the record, we are
Because
specifically
we'll run on
talking
a
about.
populist agenda, Jason.
We're talking specifically about for the future. What is it like? Who's the guy who ratted Nixon out?
Deep throat.
Watergate.
No, the John Watergate. the journalists, Rosenstein, I think, or something. Well, for the future, like.
Someone made a movie about it recently.
Tyler, I've zoomed in way too
It's
far.
called All the President's Men, and it's fantastic. For the future, like John Watergate, who finds this tape, we are talking about Victoria Rose Mealy from Quincy, Massachusetts, currently living in bumfuck Maine. She is the worst, and I hate her guts.
Also, vote for me
Vote for
in
me.
the upcoming election that I am running in. This message approved
I'm as
by
running me.
Tyler.
I had zoomed in very close to your faces for that. Made it really good when your face popped into the shoot, to the screen.
For the shot. Jason, do you even know camera terms?
No? I just own a camera.
Loser. More balls.
It's Russian bowl, man.
Quote Ryan Dalio.
What if you opened up that bowl and a copy of my head was in there screaming and like shriveled a bit?
That'd be lit.
And I was like very like hasty to get you out of the house afterwards.
Heads from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's some fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Wait, that's what'll mess up our future careers. Jason, delete that pit.
No, Jason, leave it in. The people have to know. I can't wait to listen. And the other guy was Calvin, and he sucked. And like, they were supposed to throw water balloons at like the bully from the comic, but all of the water balloons popped before we started filming, so we got a little pumpkin instead. And
The
like,
message is that the world is the bully.
in the video, like,
that
Hobbs
something you turned
convinces
off?
Calvin to kill his old bully by just beating him with a pumpkin and running. I think I promised him like eternal life if he was willing to kill or something. Jason,
Tyler,
it's been left there.
it's art now.
It's for the ages.
Get a nice still life shot of that. Post it on Tumblr later.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah, Victoria?
It's really funny because like I was telling Chris about that when we last hung out, and before he left at the end of the night, he looked at me and he was like, "Oh, Jason, oh, Jason."
It was really unnerving the way she just.
Truly, he fucked a banshee that night.
Truer love was never seen in the land again.
I think he was. I think she was casting an incantation just in case he like decided to dump her.
Truly, it didn't work.
Let's assume that it did. What would the effects of this spell have been?
Every girl I date henceforth will get into coke.
Every girl he dates doesn't want to play Kirby Air Ride with him.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that? Why does no one play Kirby Air Ride?
It's a
Find
really
yourself.
obscure game for
I don't
a
think it
damn
is.
console.
Kirby Air Ride's a fucking masterpiece, Kenny. I'm getting on the side of the room to indicate like whose side I'm on. Namely his.
That's some good cinematography right there, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't want to look at myself.
Is this?
That's our porno.
Okay, are you guys ready now that I have a camera to go film a body in the suicide forest?
With this.
What?
It hurt.
Yeah, it's a mallet.
Let's go in. Screams. What?
It really sucks that you started filming right at the end of the joke. Your really shitty Cinematographer Jason.
Hey Jason,
I'm gonna isolate
the
that.
Gatorade challenge. I'm gonna get mad electrolytes, yo. I'm gonna piss blood.
Drink this gallon of Gatorade.
Tyler, on the side of that, does it say product of genetically modified?
Genetically modified.
It says proven hydration with electrolytes.
There was a milk challenge.
Naturally flavored with other natural flavors. I remember
Tautology.
one of the saddest things I've ever seen was at a basketball game. Pepsi had paid them so that like one of their like super in shape young basketball players was like, "Yo, what's up? My name is basketball player McGee, and I'm gonna take the Pepsi challenge." And he has a gallon of Pepsi, and he chugs it, and towards the end, like, he's coughing and sputtering, and, like, this man has been working his whole life to, like, get in shape and, like, hone his skills for an athletic thing, and he gets to the top, and he's world famous, and they're like, dude, we just accepted a boatload of money from Pepsi. You gotta chug a whole gallon of Pepsi for the audience. And like he was coughing, it seemed painful.
I'm picturing like the Pepsi execs, like the marketing execs that came up with that stunt, watching it on live TV and like freaking out. It would fuck them up.
They all look like the editor in Spider-Man.
They're all Sean Flanagan.
You mean Jameson?
Is that his name?
J.
J.
Jonah
Jonah.
Jameson. He's not the editor, he owns the paper.
Yeah, Jason.
I only,
I need pictures.
like,
Talks.
in my head, his name is Ernest Hemingway.
It's an ever-burning cigar.
My favorite part of Spider-Man 3 is when J. Jonah Jameson says, Parker, come here. And then he has him kneel in front of them while he burns a cigar out on his forehead. And he's like, yeah, you little cunt.
You cuck. You beta cuck.
And then he's like, later there's a cut scene in the movie where it's raining out and Parker gets to work. And Jameson's like, Parker, just the man I wanted to see. As you can see here, I left my galoshes at home, and like his wet feet are just covered in mud, and he's like, I need you to come into my office to lick them off. And like Peter like sighs and resigns himself to it, and there's just like a 5-minute montage of like Tobey Maguire licking his boss's feet off while like his boss enjoys a cigar and listens to the radio.
And then comes at the end of it.
Nah. He does giggle a bit though, like a schoolgirl.
Oh, my bad. I was thinking of a different scene.
That's why in the movie, if you didn't catch this, when Peter Parker gets a cold later, he's like, I think I got this cold licking Jameson's feet. For many years, that line was a mystery to devoted Spider-Man fans, but now they know.
There you go.
Spider-Man
Public.
3, directed by Dan Schneider.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, guys.
I was watching Doug the other night. I hate Doug, but I watch it like every night. And no, I want this on film. How there's that green kid, Roger, that bullies Doug.
Sure.
And by bullies, most of the time he just makes like good-natured but aggressive jokes towards him. And Doug just like flips out about it. There's a bit where like Doug is like randomly called upon while he's distracted in class and he gets an answer wrong and Roger starts losing his shit and he loudly screams, "What an idiot!" Like, okay.
Man, I hated when kids did that to me in high school.
I think Doug would be a better show if at least a single one of its characters acted like an actual human being.
In most cases, that would improve a show.
It would be a lot better if he had a nine-tailed tiger living inside of him.
Get it right.
It's
My
a tiger.
favorite-
This is a Borges Naruto story.
My favorite part of Doug is when Doug's older sister murders his parents. And he's like, "Why did you murder them?" And he's like, "To test my abilities." Pork Chop the dog's guts are strewn out on the floor.
And that's when Doug's Sharingan awakens.
I only know that scene
5
because of this
PM
parody
on.
comic where it's like Dill and Tommy Pickles, and like the last panel is just a resigned Tommy Pickles with like red glowing eyes going like, "To measure my abilities." I'll watch Doug ironically, but I can't stand Rugrats.
Really?
It's like watching a child like vomit. Like the music makes me want to throw up, and I hate listening to like the adult actresses trying to sound like what babies would be like if they talked.
Yeah.
I hate how fascinated they are with their own shit, because like for a baby, like that's your first time taking a shit. Like it's painful, you know, and you don't know what's going on. You're just suddenly in pain, and like it's all sloshy. So like they wouldn't be fascinated. They'd dread shitting. They'd be like, "Oh God, like I hope I don't fill my pants again."
Are you sure?
Do you guys
That's how
remember
babies think?
What? They shriek and they cry when they shit their pants. They don't
Every
like it.
time.
the description in Times Arrow of the narrator shitting, where it would just
Yeah.
go back up into his
the
body?
description in Times Arrow when the narrator watches Rugrats in reverse. God, that would be a fucking nightmare.
Do you remember Rugrats All Grown Up?
That was one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
It's so funny too, because like their one thing was like, "Oh, they're babies," and that's the show.
But now.
But now they're
They're
not babies
teenagers.
anymore, so we can't market it. This is a show for exactly no one.
But more than just that, they're edgy teens.
No, they're like edgy 10-year-olds, except they're not even edgy. They're like vanilla as fuck. Because like, at least Doug of the Doug fame is a psychopath, so it's fun to watch through that lens. Because like he's written to be this everyman, but he's so like entitled, and like he's so just like avoids things and pussyfoots around things and handles things so passive aggressively that it's like, wow, this kid is going to grow up to post on like alt-right Nazi forums.
That's how I felt watching Iron Fist on Netflix. 'Cause it was really bad, and they have this whole plot where he gets institutionalized because he's describing the plot of Iron Fist, but like in universe. So all the characters are like, "Well, that sounds pretty fucking crazy." And I was like, it'd be really interesting if this character was just actually crazy.
What is Iron Fist?
It's the sequel to Doug.
Yeah, Doug 2, Iron Fist. It's a Marvel property.
Yeah, they bought out Doug.
Yeah, and
Actually,
turned it into a comic.
Disney owns Doug now. 'Cause
Oh shit!
They bought it in the late 90s, so they could inaugurate Doug into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's how they'll tank it.
That's how they'll.
When they
do
get
it.
sick of getting too rich,
Get sick of
they'll
the
just
money.
they'll just turn to nihilism, and they'll be like, time to canonize Doug into Marvel.
Don't
really-
watch the Iron Fist on Netflix. It's really bad.
If they had to go to that length to kill Marvel by just, yep,
Injecting a little Doug. They'd go to the Doug vault and like, you know, in like the
CC.
cryogenics next to Disney's brain, and they'd be like, release it. Doug's like chained up in there. His hair's really long and he's got a beard, but he's still like 11.
His eyes open and it's the Sharingan.
I like the idea of Doug being such like a venomously bland waste of time as like a brand that like Disney needed to like chain it up in their cryogenics facility, and he's just there.
We can't let this thing back out.
Julia's back at school, and so around 12 she'll be like, I'm tired, I gotta go to bed. And I'll be like, Julia, like, Doug's on in an hour, we have to complain about it. And then obviously she'll go to bed. I'm not gonna fucking keep her up to complain about Doug.
But Tyler, she's your bottom bitch.
Fuck off, Jason.
I really like that South Park where Butters becomes a pimp.
My favorite, one of the best jokes I've ever seen is the runner where the cop is disguised as a prostitute and
Yeah.
he keeps fucking the people he's trying to bust, and then after like getting them off, he'll be like, "Freeze! I'm a cop." And it culminates in him marrying his pimp, and on their anniversary, he gives him like a pearl necklace. And he's like, "Alright, I've got my gift right here in my purse." Freeze! And they're like vacationing in like the Swiss Alps or something together. I'm a cop. It also has a really gross bit where, really funny bit of censor dodging, where there's a bit where he busts an entire fraternity after they've all taken turns fucking him in the ass, and they get an evidence bag out, and he shits cum into the bag and fills it up, and you'll notice the censors wouldn't let them show him shitting cum, so when he shits it, the camera immediately cuts to his face, like, and you just hear, and then the camera cuts back and the bag is full.
The people that censor South Park are a fascinating breed.
Well, they'll let them do almost anything usually, with
Yeah.
few exceptions, but there are bits where they're like, "Oh, you'll have to like present it this way," or like, "We won't be allowed to air this." And
Yeah.
it's gotten looser and looser with each passing year. It's really interesting.
Just like my butthole.
Kenny, I can't wait until you like go to prison for something you didn't do.
Can't wait until I go to prison for something I did do. 10 years after I get out of prison for something I didn't do. 1 year.
You'll be like, "I don't belong on the outside.
I just become
I'm
like
Shadow the Hedgehog."
really dependent upon the institution of prison.
My favorite line in the game Shadow the Hedgehog is in like one of the evil endings when Shadow gets all the Chaos Emeralds and declares himself the most powerful hedgehog in the world.
It's a very ontological argument.
Under TV tropes, that line is classified under overly narrow superlative.
I can't wait to review this later and just find that my laugh overpowers.
I can't wait for you to try to masturbate to this later.
Because it's closer.
You're thinking to yourself right now, "I'm not gonna masturbate to this."
Yeah, I am.
Film them talking.
Tyler, if you think I don't masturbate to our regular interactions, you are mistaken in that assumption.
Because you do.
I only get off the conversation.
Julie and I once came up with this idea where it's like a workplace sitcom, but like a disgruntled Shadow the Hedgehog is the main character, and he has to like drive to work in traffic and shit. And
Why
like,
does he have to drive? He's super fast.
No, he's driving to like the office, and like Eggman's his disgruntled CEO, and he has to like sign birthday cards and put up with his peppy coworkers.
Hey, cat.
What's he doing?
Hey, Dexter.
Just chilling.
He's the yappy one. Jason, when this cat eventually passes away, like, I'll be really happy that you have this footage.
It's the shit, boy.
Hey, buddy. Maybe he's a little deaf and that's why he's so loud.
It could be.
Hey. He likes to come up and hang out with me when I'm trying to sleep. It's nice. Hey. Oh, I'm gonna miss you when I go. It didn't register to me until now that I'd be leaving the cats behind, like when I go back to Savannah. Now I'm sad.
I'm probably gonna be living in like an off-campus house next year.
So you're like, if you want me to own your cats, Tyler.
No, but like I feel like there's a high chance that I just purchase an animal.
You should get like a live cod. Or tuna or something.
Not as a pet, just for dinner.
No, like, you need to care for it and love it.
So when you get drunk, you can be like, alright.
So when you get drunk, you can like beat it and it won't feel anything because it's a fish.
Oh, I forgot. Fish don't have nerves. How silly of me to
They
think
don't
that
care.
they
You
do.
can just wallop them. Cats do though. You can't wallop them. Look at him strut.
Look at him strut.
Oh, that was a bad move. He didn't like that.
That was a good move.
No,
I have that on film forever.
Hey, it's okay. Where'd you go? Oh, he's hiding behind the couch. He hasn't done that in a while. Whoops. I guess my cat hates me now.
Oops.
I'm glad this wall caught me.
Too.
Split second of like uncertainty regarding where the wall was. You guys should probably get going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that, but like, I have to leave in like 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
That was dope.
Wasn't it?
With the right prop and make it an entertaining shot.
Is that a dog?
So we're going to take Jesse Q
Please don't hurt the dog.
and